first will sell. Nigerians will begin to make money, entertainment industry will grow. We will stop borrowing, because right now the cost of, remember the days that you had Behind the Clouds, Checkmate, Supple Blues, they were funded by private companies. But after a while, the private companies felt, oh, we're spending too much money, let's go somewhere else. That market is still open. There are no series anymore. We buy series and watch Game of Thrones, West Wing, and a lot of other series. But we do not invest in our... I was so happy when Globalcom came up into Nigeria and set up business and open shop, because it meant that something can be done by a Nigerian. But all other Nigerians are not keeping monies here. They're keeping it in Panama. People like Adenuga should be celebrated because he stood up against other people who brought businesses here and competed with them. We expected that same thing with DSTV. There are people in this country that can set up something that would match DSTV and even better, but they will not spend their money in it. That is a sector that is waiting to be keyed into. It's a space that is untapped. We need programs, television programming that tells our story. We need television programs and radio programs that sell our culture, that makes us remember our history. These days, if you watch the channels on National Geographic and the BBC, you will see several programs of over 30, 20 years ago being played back. And we watch them because they are entertaining, they're informative, and they're educative. We do not have that kind of thing. We probably believe that there's still oil. The railway is dead. And I tell you another thing. It's a shame that in Nigeria now, if anybody does anything that crystallizes the corruption in this country, he tends to be in the other party. And if somebody from the other party says something, then the person... Because we have moved from where a comedian cracks jokes and the politician is taken seriously, to a comedian being taken seriously and the politician is taken as a joke. The entertainment industry is wide, it is big. We don't have statues of liberties standing up in different parts of Nigeria that somebody can say, that is Lagos. We need to begin to wake up to our responsibilities. And gone are the days when people thought that entertainment was for never-do-wells. About a year ago, a man called me after an event and said, Ali, I need to speak with you. I said, okay, sir. I said, we can talk now. He said, no, you have to come to my house. So I went to his house. After we ate, by the way, I was so embarrassed that day because I was dressed in this beautiful Senegalese outfit. And we sat down to eat. And I found out that the Senegalese I was wearing was his tablecloth. I lost appetite. But that was not the... What I was trying to say is that after 2 hours of gisting and talking, he told me his son wants to be a comedian. And this is a billionaire. And I said, really? He said, the boy wants to be a comedian. I said, oh, that's nice. I'll talk with him. So the boy came. And the boy said that he wants to drive my kind of trucks. He wants to live where I live. And he wants to dress like I dress. You see, the things that influence us these days are not essence. It is not how well we add value. It is what we show. The entertainment industry needs to regain its essence and continue to make people believe in us. Another area of entertainment that we need to look into seriously is festivals. Our festivals remain the way they are. They are not growing because we're not doing anything to make sure they make other people want to come here. Arungungu Festival, how many of you here have been to Arungungu Festival? Few. Because it is not packaged in a way that would make people want to go there and see it. Our tourism sector, we have so much water all around Lagos, but water tourism is zero. With a country as big as Nigeria, why do we not have ocean liners? But we travel out to go on cruises. We do not have that in Nigeria. For a country as big as Nigeria, with over 200 million. Oh, by the way, sir, it's more than 180. Myself and Two-Face, we have quite a number there. And RMD. What am I saying? It is that our number is so big. We have such a population that it's amazing that one artist cannot sell 1 million copies of a song because of piracy. 1 million copies of a song. If he sells 1 million copies of a song for 100 naira, he's made. He can walk towards achieving the next thing. Somebody used the calculator there, I'm sure. Because after I said it, it took some time. I must be Igbo. The market is there. The products are there. The content is there. The human capital to achieve them are there. There are many warehouses lying fallow in Surulere and across the country that could be turned into studios. But what happens when a music video is to be shot? Artists take the music video outside to South Africa to shoot and come back. Every time I talk about how entertainment should have grown, I don't want to say it's the government alone, but I also believe that there are people who we have put in positions of power that should actually think about this thing, that don't. But you see them outside Nigeria enjoying those things. One of them called me the other day and said, Ali, I need you to do this event for me. I said, okay. And I told him my price, and he said, no, Ali, just do it for me now. There were some dignitaries he invited that I wanted to meet, and so I did it for him. So a while ago, I needed to buy land because he owns a bank. So I went to meet him. I said, okay, I need a land, or I want to buy the land. He said, how much? I told him, they said 250 million. He said, what's your collateral? I said, okay, just do this for me. He said, Ali, no, that's not how we do our business. So what it means is that people think that once you are an entertainer, you don't need to be paid. But we go to the same market, and a lot more is expected of us. If you see any other person that is not an entertainer, you don't mind if they wear a suit for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times. But if you see an artist wear something that he's worn a month ago, you say, man, things are hard for that guy. So I submit that if, just a minute, I wrote this on it. In the new world, with a lot of misconceptions and misinformation that has painted us black, Nigeria indeed and the whole of Africa has a story to tell. And the stories cannot be told by anyone but us. Tell the story on stage. Tell it in your life, in your jobs, in your songs, in your movies, in your jokes, in your books, in your designs, in your total existence. That is the biggest potential that we have in the arts and entertainment industry. You're welcome.
applause again.